Hello, I'm your host, Christina Smith, and I am a full-time life coach for women. The Inviting Shift podcast focuses on how we can step through this messy journey of life confidently so we can feel really good about how we show up, we can have deeper relationships, and connect to more purpose and meaning. Or, in short, how we manifest the lives we crave in practical, tangible ways. In today's session, I want to revolutionize how you look at this beautiful thing that touches every part of our lives, confidence. We all want it, or some version of it, right? Confidence in ourselves, confidence in relationships, confidence in what we do. And to me, words are really important, so I've looked it up. The definition of confidence in the dictionary: full trust, belief in the powers, trustworthiness, or reliability of a person or a thing, or self, as in self-confidence. Let's rethink what confidence is today. In this inaugural podcast, we're going to start with the focus of all things I coach on in my signature program. We'll start with the new definition of confidence, and then we'll cover what that means and looks like for you, and what it absolutely doesn't look like. Finally, we will put confidence into action with a step-by-step way to manifest more confidence, all in one episode. So let's get started with what people tell me confidence is. One of the most popular answers to what do you want different in your life when my clients come to me is they say they want to feel more confident. When I ask them what that looks like, they say things like, feel able to make decisions without overthinking them, feel good in my body, feel like I can trust myself for my knowing, not feeling guilty or shame when things don't work out, feeling like I can accomplish anything. Notice, it's all about feeling. And up until a few years ago, I may have agreed. Confidence must be a feeling, and one I just couldn't summon when I wanted to. I thought it was that dreamy feeling of fearlessness, having no fear, right? Fearlessness is near impossible if we are growing as people. Fearlessness only comes with a life of living in complete comfort. And if you live there, what would you need confidence for? I love this definition I heard on a Glennon Doyle podcast, We Can Do Hard Things. And because I listened to all the episodes, I feel really, really terrible. And I didn't write down the name of the person who said it. So if you're listening to this, please forgive me. Beautiful words, beautiful person. I heard this definition. The quote was, confidence is a skill. Confidence is the willingness to try something new and know you may not get it right. Confidence is the willingness to try something new, knowing you may not get it right. Confidence is a skill. It's not a feeling that comes when we feel good about ourselves. It's a practice that helps us get there. I say confidence doesn't happen by accident. It's something we hone. Let's take one example of tying our shoes. Granted, most of us were too young to remember, but I'm willing to bet most of us didn't get it on the first try. What happened? Well, mom and dad or whoever was with us showed us how to do it, and then they encouraged us with the excitement of the end result. You can do it. You're going to tie your shoes. You're going to get it. And then we started playing with the laces, twisting them this way and that. We found ways it certainly didn't work. Continued trying, and then one day we finally get it. I'm willing to bet it doesn't take any confidence for most of us to tie our shoes today. We don't even think about it most of the time. So most people think that that end part of the story where the confidence comes in, but it needs to come first. Confidence starts way in the beginning, not when we've started to get it right most of the time. It doesn't take the skill of confidence to do something we're already good at. It takes the skill of confidence to get started. Confidence can look like courage, or as Dr. Brene Brown says, fear walking, where we just go do the thing when we're scared. Confidence can look like making that hard decision knowing it may not turn out the way you want it to. Confidence can look like making that decision when you don't feel like you have enough information. Confidence can look like stopping the overthinking and second guessing yourself. Or it can look like starting something new even though you know you're going to fail over and over and over again before you get it right. It can look like being okay with the fact that you aren't perfect and that you might have to start over. It may look like having hard conversations with loved ones rather than avoiding them. Or it could look like following your inner wisdom and path when others try to lay their fears on you. Confidence looks like following your own inner wisdom and path, even when the logical side says it's going to be really uncomfortable and it's not practical. What would you do if you knew it would be okay to fail? What if you accepted that that was part of the process to success? Because it is. Instead, we crave instant gratification, natural talents, being the best without having to work too hard for it. Unfortunately, we're not all blessed with all the natural talent at everything. Some things are going to take effort and work. So, right now, I want to just visualize for just a minute, tap into our bodies, get us all here so that we can really take in what's going to be happening for the rest of this episode. Now, I want you to close your eyes. Obviously, if you're driving or doing something dangerous, do not do that. You can just imagine it, come back to it later. But if you can, close your eyes for just a moment. I want you to take a couple deep breaths just to ground yourself into your body, feeling your body. Awesome. So I want you to think about, when was the last time you had what you considered the feeling of confidence? It might have been last week, last year, or maybe not since you were a child. It doesn't matter when you felt it. Just pick a time. You got one in your head? Awesome. Bring that feeling into your body. Imagine you're there and that you're feeling that confidence. Feel it in your body. What sensations were happening in your body when you felt confidence? Maybe you feel a smile on your face, a lightness in your step, a focus in your eyes. It's different for each of us. So just notice for you what confidence feels like in your body. Just notice. Now give it some words. Describe the feeling without using the word confident. Were you feeling loved, encouraged, competent, free, assured, present, focused, radiant, purposeful, excited, inspired, unstoppable, brave? Give it just a few words. And if it feels right, you can think of another time that you were feeling confident and do the same thing. Bring that feeling of confidence into your body. Notice what it feels like. And give it a couple of words. And take a deep breath. And I want you to hang on to that, and we'll talk about what to do with it when we get to the manifesting our confidence. Before that, I just want to go over what confidence doesn't look like. We all know at least one person who is a bit more than confident, maybe even annoyingly so. They talk like they are the best at everything. Confidence is not arrogance. Arrogance assumes that everything should work out for them because they are so awesome in every way. Remember, confidence is a skill that we do things not knowing if they will work out the way that we want. Arrogance assumes everything has to work out, and if it doesn't, there's blame to share, but not usually within oneself. Arrogance stifles growth because it doesn't take responsibility or learn from unwanted circumstances. They just know it's not their fault. Confidence says there's going to be some learning, and I'm okay with that. That's part of the learning curve, not always getting it right, and I can handle that. I can handle the discomfort that will pop up if it doesn't go exactly how I wanted, especially if I feel like I showed up in the way that I wanted and did what I thought was right. Confidence isn't being the best of anything. You don't have to outshine other people to be confident. You don't need their skills. You don't have to do it the way that they do it. Confidence isn't about proving anything to anyone. No one has to see that you're confident. In fact, if that is our goal, to have other people see us as confident, we're likely faking the skill of confidence, not truly focused on where our confidence comes from inside. Confidence is about accepting our humanness, our unfailing ability to accept that life, other people, or even ourselves don't always live up to our expectations. It's the expectations that bring the discomfort or the suffering. So, how do we get ourselves into action if we don't have goals or expectations, Christina? Because often our goals are a visual. We've been taught that, right? To create a vision board, envision what it'll look like when we get there. The problem with goals or expectations is that if it doesn't turn out exactly like I say it should, then I've failed. I might hold myself responsible for not thinking of every little thing that could go wrong, even if I did what I could. And then I'm focused only on the things that didn't work exactly right. I forget to celebrate all the awesome work and focus and discipline I put in and get stuck in the mud because my exact vision didn't happen the way I had been dreaming. And by the way, I've probably pushed aside enjoying the journey or the way to that goal for the sake of that end goal. So a lot of joy and happy got sacrificed in order to go to the wrong expectation. How frustrating. It becomes a hot mess, and then the things we thought would make us happy become a ball of how I didn't do it right. Which then means that when big dreams come or projects come up again, I might shy away, knowing that I risk not being perfect again, and that all that work is gonna just feel bad when things don't turn out the way that I want them to, right? So it's helpful to be flexible. If you are a recovering perfectionist like me, it's hard to tell where we can change things and what we need to accept, isn't it? How can we sacrifice the details? Every little detail could be important. I mean, isn't that why we thought of them and planned them? It's the why that is most important. What we need to know why we want what we want. When I ask people why they want something, I get answers like, I want a big house because I grew up in apartments and I want to own my own home. I want to go into business for myself because I'm tired of working for other people and them taking advantage of my work. I want to have a better relationship with my children because I don't want to repeat the patterns of our family. And these are well thought out answers. In fact, even big answers to how to get what they want. They know why they want what they want, like a vision board, right? They can see it. They can even see the wounds that they are working on healing. These are awesome goals. However, if that house they buy isn't so big, is that going to be a disappointment? What if working for yourself means you're going to have to have a business mind and grow the skills that you weren't planning on growing and didn't envision? What if you change the pattern in your family, but it doesn't look like you originally had in mind? None of these things have to be negative because they aren't the way you wanted them to be. They aren't happening because you did them wrong. In Untamed, one of my favorite Glennon Doyle quotes is, "Life isn't hard because you're doing it wrong. It's just hard." But we get to choose how hard and what kind of hard. What if we didn't sacrifice all of our in the moment happiness and joy in order to get our goals? What if we could feel good on the way and when we reach our goals, even if they don't turn out the way that we want them to? We'll talk about how and the exact steps to confidence right after this message. It's science, I promise. Hello, this podcast is sponsored by Christina Smith Coaching. So if you've been listening to this confidence podcast and you're wondering, where is my confidence? I want you to take a quick quiz that is right around here somewhere. Click the link and you will find the archetype that you are most confident in. Not only will you find a lot of your gifts and magic, but you'll also find some tools to help you balance that confidence into other areas. So it's just a quick quiz, 60 seconds. Feel free to take it now. So back to the how, right? Brings me to the main point of how we stay confident according to science. So I'm not a scientist, so I've done some research. And are you ready? Because here comes the whole scientific process. According to The Confidence Trick by Dr. Ian Robertson, he says the process of confidence kind of goes like this. We start with words, the ones that encourage us. Affirmations, good thoughts that will keep us focused in what we want. Then we give those intentions attention. We focus on the words and the intention that we have. Then we clarify a goal. And then we work on that goal and we have some degree of success. Even if it was just getting to the end, getting the first milestone done, we feel this success, some degree of success. And then we feel more confident in trying it again or moving forward. And it's a process that repeats. So if we go back to tying our shoes, that's exactly what worked, right? As our parents said, you're doing a great job. You're going to just keep trying. You're going to get it, right? And then we knew what our intention was to tie this shoe, right? And then we focused on that over and over and over again. And then we finally got it. And we had this degree of success. We were successful in tying it once. And we feel more confident trying it again. So the first time I saw this process, I thought, what if you don't experience success? For a reformed perfectionist like me, or reforming perfectionist like me, if it doesn't show up like I think it should, I don't feel good, which is why goals started feeling overwhelming and like a chore. We don't want our goals to feel like a chore because we have a why. There's a good reason why we're doing them, right? Perhaps we're just focused on the wrong why. So behind that vision board, that beautiful vision that we have, there is a deeper why. We want what we want because we believe we will feel the way we want to feel when we get there. It's the feelings that we want that are the magic secret to confidence, or what I call intentions. Remember earlier we tuned into the feelings of confidence, what confidence truly felt like? So if your goal is to feel confident, it's those words that you connected to. Let's just say mine are loved and brave, right? So if my goal is to feel more confident, it's also to feel more loved and brave, right? So what we want to feel becomes our guidepost. If that's what we want out of it, then that's what we need to put into it. So let's say confidence, it feels like love and bravery. Then we need to show up with love and bravery. what we're doing is cutting out the middleman. The goal is the middleman. We're exchanging our energy to get the goal so that we can feel the way we want to. So we're exchanging all that work for the goal in order to feel how we want to feel. But what if we could feel that way now and assure that we will feel that way in the end? But have you ever gotten to your goal and it didn't feel like you thought it would? Of course, we probably all have. We put in all the work to, let's say, graduate. It's uncomfortable, and we sacrifice a lot of instant gratification in order to be happy when I graduate, right? We were told we'll be happy when we graduate. But when graduation comes around, we're already on to new goals, getting a job, applying for our next program, or whatever else is on our path. We don't even celebrate all the goals that we succeed at. What if you could be happy while you were pursuing the goal? What if you could feel confident on the way to confidence? Here's the secret. We focus on intentions rather than goals or expectations. Goals are how it's going to look when I get there. Intention is how I am going to show up on the way there and when I get there. Intentions help us stay grounded in the feelings we want to feel. Intention is the idea that we have to align ourselves and our actions and words and thoughts to put in what we truly want out. If we say our intention is to be more connected to family, but we keep making choices to work late, we are out of alignment. Intentions keep what's important, in this case, how we feel about ourselves, as the most important, not how it's going to look. Let's go back to our previous examples so you can envision what I'm talking about. How about the example of I want a big house because I grew up in apartments and I always dreamed of owning my own house. When I asked this client how big a house would help her feel, she said, secure, more connected to family, and proud. One of the blocks that this client had was a habit of shopping. Her family didn't have much as she grew up, and now she tried making up for all that time with shopping. Her new intention to be more secure, to be connected to family and proud, didn't align with her shopping habit and took away from the goal of having a big house. Instead, she now focuses on those intentions. She can make secure decisions and take secure actions today. She can connect to family instead of going shopping today. She can feel proud that the more money she saves, the sooner she'll have that big old house. But something else happened along the way. She realized she didn't want a big, big house after all. She found a house by the lake that felt exactly like everything she wanted. Secure, connected, and proud. It wasn't as big as she thought she would want, but it fit her better. It aligned with what she truly felt she wanted. How about the example, I want to have a better relationship with my children because I don't want to repeat the patterns of our family. We all have an idea of what the ideal family and relationship would look like. We've watched enough TV and movies for each of us to pick out our own style. This client wanted her kids to call often. She wanted to spend a day a week with her grown daughter shopping or hanging out. She wanted everyone to enjoy dinner together once a week at her table. But her daughter moved away in a few states, and a weekly dinner was no longer possible. But that doesn't mean that she can't have the relationship that is better and different than the one she had with her parents. So I asked this client, if you had that perfect relationship you talk about, what would it feel like? Her answers: connection, love, compassion. When she said these, I asked if she felt those in her relationship with her daughter, even though she's far away now. She said, yes, I'm just afraid that with the distance, it'll change over time. We worked on how she could align her thoughts, words, and choices with connection, love, and compassion. In order to get those, it's helpful to put them out there. How can she show up with more love, compassion, and connection, even in a distant relationship? She came up with a list of ways she could keep her connection strong, how she could show up with love from afar and share her compassion from anywhere. The last client could have considered herself a failure when her daughter decided to move away. It sure wasn't how she envisioned a new kind of relationship. It didn't turn out the way she wanted on the outside, and she feels great about it on the inside because she is still getting what she truly wanted: the feelings of love, compassion, and connection. It turns out she has all three, even beyond her own dreams now, because she takes it as it comes rather than trying to control the time and way it happens, because she is more open to her feelings or intentions rather than what it actually looks like on the outside. So here's the process. Let's talk about it. First, we decide how we want to feel in the end. When I get there, what do I want to feel? Then, and these are the words that you've just come up with. It could be the words that you came up with earlier in our short visualization of confidence, or it could be something else. But we break it down just the first step. And then we ask ourselves, what is the best way to approach this step? Whatever step in your goal that is, or next step in your project. What is the best way to approach this step with my intentions in mind? If my intentions include peace and calm, going in all hyped up and overwhelmed isn't going to fit. You have to be aligned with peace and calm. So what is the way that you can move forward with the most peace and calm? There may not always be the perfect option, but we do our best to make it feel like the way we want it to feel. Yes, it does take a little time to tune in and move forward mindfully, but that's the point. You are retraining yourself towards confidence and joy, perhaps for the first time, so it may feel a little, uncomfortable at first, and that's okay. Just take it slow and continue to tune into your intentions. How can I make this next step feel more peaceful and calm, or connection, or compassionate, or joyful? So here's the 4 steps. The first one, decide how you want to feel at the end of the goal. Make that your intention and how you will show up to it. Could be confident, trusting, brave, for example. But decide how you want to feel at the end of the goal. What feels best? Then, if you haven't already, then you set the goal. This could be just to have more confidence in this example here in this episode. What might it look like? Or it might be to buy that house. What might it look like? Having an open vision is what I like to say, an open vision, one that can be changed, one that can pivot with you. Showing up to that big, it could also be showing up to a big event, feeling good about yourself, or achieving some big goal, right? So, second step was to set a goal. The third one is to break it down into actions you can take. Then show up to that goal in alignment with your intention. Think, do, speak, and choose based on your intentions, right? So even if I'm starting a podcast and I have to choose a podcast host, I'm still going to think about my intentions. And I want that podcast host to feel like they're in alignment with me, right? Whatever my intentions is. So some other things that we can also do, if your whole goal is just to feel confident, right? Feel good in your body, feel good in your relationships, feel confident in some area, then we can wear things that help us feel confident. Or if our intention is peace and calm, we can wear things that help us feel peaceful and calm, right? We can plan out action steps with our intentions in mind so that each action step is feeling as much like my feelings as possible. So, for a silly example, when I am wanting to feel more queenly and I have to wash the dishes, I might put my tiara on. I know it sounds silly, a tiara to wash the dishes, but I really hate dishes, and the tiara makes me feel like it's a more royal position for some reason. So it's silly, and it's one little thing I do to make it a little bit more fun for me, right? That's the whole intention, is to make it more fun, to make it more queenly, to really step into a different energy. So I really suggest some of these actions have to do with your senses and how you make the process sense worthy, I guess is what I'm going to say. Because when we are using our senses, our touch, feel, see, hear, smell, we are also getting back into our bodies. And then number 4, base your success on your intentions rather than your goals or expectations. This means I ask myself, did I show up the way that I wanted to? Did I show up with peace and calm, if that's my goal or my intentions, right? My intentional goal. Did I show up with love and compassion and open to connection? Did I show up brave? So if I did that, if I look back and I'm like, wow, I really did. I did like 90%. Maybe could have done a little better, but for the most part, I showed up the way I intended to, then you are a success. You are a success. You really honed your ability to bring on the energy that you wanted, and you put everything that you could into it. The problem with goals and expectations is that the outside world has so much influence on them. People can interrupt our goals, situations, disasters, chaos. There's so many things that can impact our goals that we are not responsible or we have no control over. So, basing it off of our intentions helps us feel that level of success each time. It also keeps us more mindful and aligned with what it is that we truly want, so that we're really opening ourselves up for what it is that we want in the end, because that's what we're putting in. This is the practice for the skill of confidence. And frankly, just about anything else you want to manifest in life. This is how I manifest it. Align with what you truly want, not the vision, but the feeling. It's deeper, it's more aligned. It'll feel better along the way. It starts with a choice to follow intention rather than expectation. It puts a focus on what you can control, you, rather than what you don't, everything else. There will always be external impacts on your goal that you can't control, and you don't want to worry about controlling everything outside of you. You can only control yourself. That's where your power and your confidence comes from. As I always say, confidence doesn't happen by accident. It's a practice. Hey you want more? I thought you might for this inaugural episode, and the fact that this is content that is so important to everything else I'll be sharing with you this season. I've attached a free work page for you to go deeper and work the process out for yourself, and also a little ritual for setting up an intentions altar. Find the link below or go to christina-smith.com/episode 1. I hope you'll also tune in to the 2 bonus episodes I've launched immediately with this one. I have some lovely guests talking about topics you need. Go check them out. Hey, beautiful human, just one more quick thing before you go. Thank you so much for hanging on there. I'd love to hear what you want to learn about or what you're struggling with. If you're feeling stuck, maybe you have struggles in relationships, not sure where you should go next, struggling with purpose or meaning in your life, tell me all about it and I will reply. May even use it in a show, anonymously if you choose, of course. Please write to me by clicking on the contact button around here or emailing me at christina@christina-smith.com. I'd also love to hear your feedback, positive or constructive. Be sure to rate and review and share this podcast. We're new and we can use all of the help that we can get. Thanks so much, and remember to be gentle with your humanness.